for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu, and I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me, I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That Dre season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it
I
for
hate
us.
these average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my own flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on to the hearse. Party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Welcome everybody to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host Trey Holiday, and we got an amazing show for you guys on this Friday Eve. Welcome to this Thursday. What's up, Big O?
You already know it's my Friday.
Yeah, right.
People catch me with a whole lot of energy on Thursday, man. You know what I'm saying? Last day of the week for me, and it's I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's been a great week, man. Great shows this week, and this one will be an addition to that.
Yeah, before I get to that, he's popping over. You got this Bulldog, Garfield Bulldog purple.
Thank you, my friend. You know what I'm saying? A little homage to our, alma mater, Garfield Bulldogs out there.
One of these days, I'm gonna step it up, but it's always just this manners are converged gear for me. All right, everybody, we do have a great show lined up for you today, man. There's lots going on here. We're joined by Jimmy Brown. And man, Jimmy organization got a long name, but I'm just saying Jimmy's down there making it happen in Federal Way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Making it happen. Can't wait to dive into a good discussion with Jimmy. Lots of great things going on out there.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're going to check in. Besa is Thursday, so it's the Rewind with Besa to see what's going on this week in town. And then we got some special guest here. This is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? We got Dwayne Dubelyoo, right? You know what I'm saying? From Art Beats Plus Lyrics in the building. They got an event coming up Saturday, right? Saturday over at the Armory at the Seattle Center, man. It's the largest traveling art show in the country. And man, it's stopping by here. So we're excited to talk to them and learn more about it.
Yeah, I sure am. I mean, Besa was just telling us a little bit, so I'm so glad that we'll be able to get the details from Dwayne himself. It's exciting.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. And want to remind you that right now is a perfect opportunity for you to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with people who you feel would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the Emerald City. Want to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald and also KBCS 91.3 over at Bellevue College. Also want to remind everybody that you can listen to the Morning Update Show anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. So that's SoundCloud, Google, Spotify. There it is. You got it on screen. iTunes, anywhere. Just go and search Converge Media Network. It's the part right here where we share a link from our good friends over there at Public Health, Seattle, King County. If you want to get vaccinated, if you need a booster shot, if you need testing, or if you're hesitant, it's a lot of people that's hesitant as well. A link right there from Public Health, Seattle, King County, man. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to take care of you.
Yeah, they will. And you know what? Shout out to that link because, there's been additional testing sites popping up, additional vaccination clinics, and you guys can find all the information right there because they're all really connected. So I love that there's one place we can go, one source.
Yeah, and it looks like, you see Besa's ad on here about what people can be doing around COVID. But apparently, even right here in Martin Luther King County, there's a high hesitancy rate in our community. And, here at Converge, man, it's not the shame game. We want to leave a lot of space and grace for people who, they're hesitant about the vaccine. And to be honest with you, the way that the news changes around it all the time, that's why people are hesitant.
Well, yeah, come on. We have the CDC kind of going around and around, still trying to figure things out. And that's one of the most trusted sources we have in our country. And so, you talk about the World Health Organization and the CDC. There's a lot of information bouncing back and forth, man. I understand why people are hesitant.
Another one of the trusted sources in our community is Big Mama in there. And, if Big Mama, if she ain't on board, everybody might not be on board. But, we always want to continue this conversation. Like I said, leave a lot of space and grace for people out there who are hesitant because, as Black people, we get shamed on everything. And man, people don't need no more vaccine shame in their life, man. Let's talk about it. Let's understand it more. You know what I'm saying? And also for people who want to get a free COVID test at their house, it's covidtest.gov. Huh?
Yeah, covidtest.gov. You can get up to 4 tests per household. We were talking about how they were running out of a supply because there was such a high demand. They have re-upped the supply. So you guys can check out that link as well, covidtest.gov, and get, 4 free tests into your home.
Yeah, that's the joint. And remember, look, you know what I'm gonna say, huh? If someone asks you to Cash App or Venmo them for a vaccination, you know what I'm saying? Tell them it's all good. Tell them Big O got you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be Cash Apping and Venmoing nobody for no vaccine.
I'm going to tell you right now, man, as much information is out there, if anybody is falling for the okie doke and paying for vaccines or paying for these free tests, let me just say, you guys don't have to do that unless you're at a grocery store, at a drugstore trying to buy one of those tests. But trust me, don't be sending the little through the Venmo and the Cash App, man.
Yeah, real deal. Hey, big shout out our people over at KEXP. We want to make sure and put this up here right now. Man, this internship, it closes on the 15th. And actually, we're going to hear from Besa a little later on in the show. She talked about if she had an opportunity like this when she was over there. She started over at it was Clear Channel then. Now it's iHeart Cube 93. She was like on the promo team, sticker stop and everything else. KEXP, this opportunity they have for interns, for paid internships on all kinds of different aspects of radio, from show booking to media production to sound engineering and everything else. $22 an hour. Huh?
Yeah, no, this is what I said in the beginning. Besa is right. There was an era of us who we were out there for free. We were volunteering our time, trying to learn the trade, trying to be in the industry and get the know-how by being on the scene. Trust me, I know. Scan TV was not paying me nothing to be a director of shows, but I was producing shows and directing shows and got a lot of hands-on experience. But man, if I could have got the chance to make $22 an hour and really be by a reputable company like KEXP and take that knowledge on to my next adventure, or maybe even working for KEXP, man, that's like a real plug.
let me tell you, KXP is a world-class platform. And I really encourage people in our community. I would say this is KEXP. And, you know, when we talk about, especially in the Black community, you know, KXP doesn't always pop up on the radar as far as radio stations and media consumption in our community. KXP is being highly intentional about saying, like, look, man, you know, we ain't keeping this to ourselves or people who live in the North End or certain areas and everything else. They've been intentional about reaching out to Converge and making sure that people in our community that look like us are aware of this opportunity.
I love that the most because honestly, how else would we know that this exists? Honestly. So love that KEXP reached out to Converge and that we're able to be a conduit for young folks to actually get this information. So as Omari said in the beginning, if you got somebody laying on the couch, but they're, you know, going to their closet to make beats, I'm just saying they may be right for
all
this.
the big mama food. You know what I'm saying? How themselves fill out this internship?
Yeah, right. $22 an hour. That's not bad.
Yeah, good stuff. You know, I almost jumped into For Culture because we've been talking about For Culture for over a month now. And like, yeah, man, For Culture, it closed yesterday. There was $1,000 to $12,000 for cultural producers here in the city. And man, For Culture is getting ready. You know, we'll give us some time. I think probably about a month or 6 weeks. They're going to be handing out the cash to cultural producers in our community. And again, when you talk about people being intentional, For Culture is consistently intentional and also wanting to get information into our community.
Yeah, they did, because they also know that there's a lot of people that are doing this kind of work that often don't hit the register of it, right? So like maybe you don't have an LLC or you didn't have a business or an entity and you were just kind of in the gig economy picking up jobs, but what you were really doing was being a cultural producer. They're like, no, this opportunity is available to you too. And oftentimes when we talk about grant opportunities, there's a lot of barriers in our community. So they lowered those barriers. They made the application process easy. They also were guiding people through the process, helping people fill out these applications, which is saying a lot from an institution that has these funds. But I love seeing this because when we talk about intentionality, our community does need it. There's a lot of relief funds hitting and they're coming through different agencies, and For Culture is one that said, man, we're going to do this right.
All right, big shout out For Culture and KXP. So, you know, we started off the week with, again, sobering news, Trey Holiday. King County prosecutor Dan Satterberg released the shots fired numbers. And we all knew that it was going to be bad. Like, we knew for sure that the numbers were going to be bad. I mean, just right here by the studio, the number of people have been shot and the number of people that have been murdered. And then when you talk about King County as a whole, and, you know, it's crazy. I got an opportunity to talk to King County Councilmember Germain Zahala yesterday. And of all the interview, I've been interviewing Councilmember Zahilay since before, right after he got elected, but before he got inaugurated, back when he was councilmember elect. I've probably done maybe 30, 40 interviews with the council member. But, you know, it was, man, it's never just been in that space. You'll kind of see in the short interview. The long interview will be up across our social platforms after the show. But I talked to him about what's going on in our county, and I talked to him about the numbers and, of course, the disproportionate number of Black people who are been impacted by gun violence in King County. 81% of the shooting victims, you can remove it. 81% of the shooting victims, 379 people were people of color. Nearly half, 48% or 225 people of all shooting victims were Black or African American. 85% of shooting victims, 390 people, were men, and 28% of shooting victims, 133 people, were between the ages of 18 to 24.
It's not shocking, but it's still just as devastating to hear it every single time. By every single metric of well-being, you know how it is. Our communities, Black communities, are lagging, and that is systemic racism. We have our Black collective wealth is marching towards zero every single year. Educational attainment, educational opportunity, poverty, all of these issues are localized in certain communities. And so that's why you see these kind of disproportional negative outcomes with gun violence as well.
Right. Now, these are the numbers, sir. You know, from your position over there on the King County Council and working within King County government, what are some of the solutions?
there are upstream solutions and there are immediate gun violence solutions. Upstream solutions is everything you can imagine that helps the well-being of a human or a community. So affordable housing, good education, jobs, healthcare, childcare, every single element that you can think of that makes a human being thrive and a community thrive. Those are the upstream solutions, and those are things that we're working on. And then the downstream solutions, not to use jargon, but are the things that, you know, once somebody is already in these environments that are not safe, how do you keep them from not being shot or not shooting? And those kinds of responses can be things like community space activation, like you see down in Rainier Beach with organizations like Southeast Network, bringing food and professionals that are trained in de-escalation and better lighting to make sure these areas that are hot for shootings end up being activated and not seeing the shootings. You can see people like organizations like Community Passageways, Choose 180 that are out there forming relationships and mentoring and making sure that the young people who are most at risk for shooting or being shot are having some intervention and having the things that they need to make better life decisions. You see organizations like Regional Community Pathways that are making sure that young people who are going to be trapped in the cycle of our criminal legal system that keeps them from getting jobs and keeps criminal records on them, that keep them from upward mobility. Instead, they have a community-based support system, so again, that they can make better decisions. You have community centers, you have after-school activities, you have programs that keep guns that are not meant to be with a certain person off the streets, stolen guns, for example. You have programs like safe storage so that when people go home, they can lock their guns up and they don't fall in the wrong hands. The list goes on and on and on, but there are a host of solutions that we can provide both upstream and downstream, but we need more resources for them, and we need better coordination across every single government and nonprofits and our hospital systems as well.
All right, Trey Holiday. So, you know what, we're kind of up against the clock today because we got a lot of guests. So I think that we'll follow back up next week. But another thing I just want to point out here quickly that you see in this interview is there's a lot of discussions happening between the county and South King County municipalities, like where you're at out in Federal Way. And I'm like, man, how come we're not hearing anything about any of the Black-led initiatives that the taxpayers are funded to disrupt gun violence? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they being erased out of the equation. They're not being invited to the table around this discussion. And, you know, Councilmember Zahilay's answer was real interesting. He said it's a political season. And a lot of also what we see right now is performative action. So, you know.
Oh man, this is why we talk about putting people at the center. And I love how he was talking about some of these solutions that are really rooted in community approach. I mean, you're talking about people that are building relationships with young people that have the propensity to be involved or connected to a lot of these gun violence issues. And when they start really actually spinning out the data, they are able to identify some of these individuals and try to work directly with them. So the idea is that you're right. Oh, there's always this kind of performative action happening, particularly when it's a political year, an election year. I just feel like it's never putting people at the forefront, and that's really the problem.
I'm gonna tell you this, mark my words, right? The race for King County prosecutor is gonna be one of the ugliest, nastiest races you see. And I promise you, somebody gonna come with some old like Willie Lynch type ads and what everything else. Watch, we'll see what happens. All right, let me change. We're going to keep it in South King County, but we're going to mix up the energy here because we got a brother who is doing amazing things. There he is right there, Jimmy Brown. Jimmy Brown is in the building, man. He got some matching kicks and everything. He knew how to show up. We're going to take a quick break right now, and the Morning Update show continues.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. Joining me right now is Jimmy Brown. He has his own nonprofit, Build to Lead, but also doing some amazing work in the participatory budgeting space out there in Federal Way. What's up, Jimmy?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Hey, good. So glad that
to
we
be
can
here.
get you on, man.
For sure.
I mean, I have now known you for a few years, and you've been doing work out there in Federal Way.
I appreciate
The
that.
thing that I really appreciate is that you're now like involving youth, and you have this real youth-centric approach. Tell us a little bit about the participatory budgeting process
it's a tongue
that's going on.
twister.
Yeah, for these like
Yeah.
unincorporated areas of King County.
For sure. Yeah. So basically, I got introduced to the process through kind of like a public notice that, King County was kind of forming this, I guess you could say, 5 unincorporated area collective that's in charge of basically deciding what we're going to do with $10 million split across the different cities. So you got North Highline, West Seattle, White Center, East Federal Way, and then you also have I'm missing one more, East Federal Way, Skyway. Yeah. And so you have these collectives that are coming together to say, hey, what are we going to do with this $10 million? And so, we've been guided through the county and some consultants around how are we going to disseminate the money. What are the values going to look like? What are the rules going to look like? What are the guidelines going to look like? And then what are the projects going to look like?
Yeah.
And so at the end of it all, we'll be able to put it on a ballot, 16 through 24 we'll be able to vote. 12 through 16, 18 will be able to be on these committees that decide what type of projects we work on, which is where my lane is at, where I feel is real impactful. And then, all community members that live in these unincorporated areas get an opportunity to talk about like what this money is going to be for, what it's going to look like, and how we can keep this sustainable.
Yeah, this is a process that we've been talking about a lot in Seattle. I mean, I know that there was a lot of organizing that helped to bring this to bear when we talk about participatory budgeting. And this is one of the largest participatory budgeting processes in terms of dollars that the community will be able to generate projects around.
Right.
And so I really appreciate, shout out to Trinice Rogers, because she always keeps me, she really keeps me updated. She's like, this is going on. Hop on this council meeting, like come to this meeting for Federal Way. And there's so many unspoken heroes. And I just think you're one of them, Jimmy. When I saw you on there and you and Trinice guiding this process, I was like, there we go. Our people are at the forefront.
Right.
How does it feel for you to be able to utilize your energy towards efforts like this that will be long lasting in the future? Because we're talking about projects that are going to be sustainable and real institutions in our communities.
So being a part of this is it's a double-edged sword, right? It's because you come from community and you know how sometimes these processes have started and then fell short. You have that kind of fear, as if like, dang, this might not go through, and then we might disappoint community, and then they're not going to trust the process again, right? That's just the reality. But seeing how it's worked out and seeing where it's going, I believe that they started off on the right foot. And by they, I mean the county, when they said, all right, we're going to give you full control of how this is going to be built from the bottom up. So we're putting in fail safes, barriers right now, but not barriers, fail safes that'll create a solid foundation so that this will continue to move through generations. And then, I got a team of people like Trinice, myself, Nita, Zeta. These are all representatives of different communities and cultures within East Federal Way. And so everybody gets a voice. And I think that's probably one of the most important factors of this is that we create a cycle, right, that continues to scale community voice, that continues to put community at the forefront of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think that that's so important. And I'll be honest, I have almost ridiculed, Federal Way City Council because there is 14%. You guys have heard me say this statistic a lot because I'm so shocked that there's 14% Black families in Federal Way, and yet there's not a centering of those voices. And I love that now more more people are starting to get engaged. I think, I always said I was living in an apartment building. Nobody knocked on my door to ask for my vote. Like
Right.
it was almost as if they could do without really engaging community. And the idea that the demographics in Federal Way have changed dramatically over the last 10 years is really due to a lot of the gentrification we talk about with the Central District and South End, where it spread our families thin across King County and throughout Pierce County. And so the idea is that now Federal Way has an opportunity to do something different and center community voice. I think it's key, and it's long time coming. Jimmy, how has it been for you? Because you understand these dynamics and being out there in Federal Way, seeing the change of demographics, and as you said, being a part of community, that they're saying, you know what, no, we're going to put you guys in the front of this, and that we're actually going to make an effort here intentionally to listen to these voices.
So in 2008, I started doing work in Federal Way with youth. That's the first time I had a job working with youth, and then I started my work in education. 2008, it was a totally different landscape than you have in 2022, right? That's a 14-year turnaround. And what I've seen is an increase not only in Black and brown faces, but a decrease in opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not matching. And so how do we put ourselves in a position to start to speak about what we need in order to embrace for the impact of more Black and brown faces coming in? Because not only are you talking about the gentrification, you're talking about people who are moving from different cities to come here. And South is where you have the lowest cost. You know what I mean? So we're getting people from out of town. We're getting, gentrification, people moving in from the South End to the CD to come to Federal Way. And this generation of babies that are being raised up without an understanding of what it means to be inside a community, right? And so for me, my picture of how it's been is there needs to be a shift in how systems operate around the movement, right? If I have a youth that's coming in and I know that where they came from, they had a lot of risk factors, right? They had generational impacts that kept them out of the loop when it comes to financial sustainability, education, things like that. Then what I have set up there systemically in my city needs to complement that, right? So as soon as they come in, they have touch points. They have people that they talk to. They have pathways. And that's really what my organization Build to Lead, outside of what I'm doing with the county, is all about. And I got that work and that ideology just from being rooted in community. And so it's like, we often ask people, well, how do you make a change? Well, just go to the people that are actually doing the work. And they'll tell you exactly how to do it from A to Z, and you'll have everything that you need centered around it to make it shake.
Well, that's what I'm going to ask you about next is your organization. But I want to make sure that people know there's a call on them to be engaged in this process for participatory budgeting. So Amon, you can put the link in the comments there, because people can go to this link and figure out how they can get engaged, right?
Yep. So East Federal Way, we have allocated about $1.9 million to create something. And our idea as a collective that represents East Federal Way is to create a community pillar. So what that means is like a youth center or some type of place where people can come in, be communal, where youth can come in and engage, where we can build programming out of, things like that. And this was like an easy idea for everybody involved because we know what's needed out there. You know what I mean? So when you guys go to that link, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to not only put in your bid and understanding what you want to see the money go towards, but you'll also be able to look at the different committees and opportunities that you can join to be a part of what we're doing.
Amazing. And as you said here, now you have a nonprofit, Build to Lead.
Yes.
And that is a beautiful name because honestly, that's what's required of our young people. I'm always telling them, I have two sons, 16 and 8 years old. And I'm like, you see mom doing work in community, but this can't stop when mom perishes. Like it has to continue on. Right. We need our young people to be engaged. Tell us more about Build to Lead.
Yeah, so Build to Lead essentially is an organization that works on leadership development skills, advocacy skills, and financial literacy skills of the youth that we work with inside of high schools and middle schools. We also create civic engagement and systemic economic mobility opportunities for community through workshops, through seminars, conferences, things like that. And we started that in 2020. That was like just basically an offset of some consultant work I was doing as a for-profit. And I said, in order for me to really make the change, I have to build something that can sustain the community to really help guide the institutional work. You know what I'm saying? We got to build a bridge between schools and communities, and we got to build a pathway for these youth to go down to really start to understand where they want to be in 3 years, why they want to be there, have more of a confidence level in the decisions that they're making every day when they walk inside the schools, right? And more importantly, giving their parents and their guardians or their aunts, their uncles help. Right. And some opportunity to have professional development, to have opportunities to increase their generational wealth. Because what we're not understanding, and I don't think what we're doing a good job as a collective in education, is that we're not really latching on to the parents and the environment that's outside the school.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the problems stem from, that we see spill inside the school.
Absolutely. And as you're talking, I mean, that was one of the things that started me. I was like, you know what? I'm doing work in Seattle. Let me figure out how I can make an impact in Federal Way. And I started a program, and I just went through communities and schools, right? Which is out there in Federal Way School District. Right. And they are trying to be intentional. Okay, how do we bring these kind of community efforts into the school around, after school programs? A lot of it is kind of centered there, right? But I think that there's always a need for community to be engaged and be involved. And I think you are hitting the nail on the head when you talk about really tapping into the family side of things. My mom, she was a family resource worker. Like that was what she did for Seattle Public Schools. And it was like, no, we're here as a employee of the school, but I'm here for the family. And I think that that's so key. How can people get up with you with Build to Lead, connect with you and with the work you're doing?
So you can reach us on Instagram, Facebook, Build to Lead. You can also visit the website, www.buildtolead.org. And then you can also email us, info@buildtolead.org. And other than that, just catch me out in the mix. Like I'm at Seattle Public Schools, Federal Way Public Schools, soon to be in Tacoma Public Schools as well. So we're just trying to spread the word, spread the initiative, and spread the opportunity. Like that's the biggest thing. Like our impact is not only to see youth graduate, but to see their family change, to see the dynamic around them change, to see their environment change. So, any way that you feel you can help, please tap into one of those lanes, and then we'll definitely connect with you.
Jimmy, congrats on all the work.
Thank you.
You're doing,
I appreciate
brother.
it.
It's so necessary.
Hey, congrats to you too.
Thank you.
Because I seen you moving and shaking, and I just want to tell you congratulations for real.
Thank you so much. Well, we'll keep this going, right? Because as information comes out, we want to keep our audience informed and engaged. So this may not be the first time we see you. I'm glad that you got here today.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna be back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Well, you guys heard it right there from Jimmy himself. There's ways that you guys can be involved. If you live in one of these unincorporated areas of King County and you want to participate in the participatory budgeting process, please click that link that Saman has put there in the comments. And if you want to connect with Jimmy on Build to Lead, if maybe you're a person who wants to give to youth as well as Jimmy's doing, I'm sure there can always be more volunteers on hand. Any organization needs more people. So connect with Jimmy. It's a great thing that he's doing and an amazing feat out there. And we need more people to be engaged and involved. Use your voices for good. All right. After this short break, we get to bring Omari back to the set. He's going to be talking to Dwayne about arts, beats, and lyrics. Amazing art show that is traveling across the country. Can't wait to dive in and hear what they're talking about. After this short break, you guys stay tuned. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. Not yet, Dwayne, not yet. We got you coming up. But first, it's Thursday. And so Thursday is always check in with Besa Gordon, Converge Media's own Besa Gordon. Also over at Cube 93 Point. There she is. Salma, it's time for another Rewind with Besa.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and guess what? It is time for another episode of Rewind with Besa. But you already know, first, we gotta talk about our sponsors, honey. First and foremost, we gotta shout out KEXP because they are doing something that I wish was around when I first wanted to get in radio. They actually have paid internships, you guys. Here's what they're actually doing. They're giving you the option to work with them starting in April for 6 months. You actually have until February 15th to apply, and get this, you will be making $22 $15 an hour, and you only got to work 15 hours a week. Literally part-time, definitely a clutch situation. And guess what? Maybe you don't want to necessarily be on the radio. Look, you can do production, you can do social media, you have so many options, but guess what? The beauty is that you are able to learn from people that already know what they're doing. That way you're not having to bump your head. Personally, I know for a fact that I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't have someone to teach me. And with COVID, it's not as easy to do that. So take advantage of the situation to be able to get trained and mentored over at KEXP and actually get paid for it. In other sponsor news, you know that we have a lot of live shows still going on, okay? First and foremost, we have Beauty and the Beast. This is actually still showing until February 6th. Romeo and Juliet is actually showing at McCall Hall from February 4th to February 13th. I'll actually be there Sunday at 1 o'clock, so if you're gonna be there, definitely say, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing mighty fine. Now, in terms of the rewind, first and foremost, it looks like Bath & Body Works is actually under fire for doing some performative things. Now, what's interesting is I'm not sure if they've done this before, but in a nutshell, they decided to drop a line that is Black History Month inspired, which in reality, they basically just took some dashiki cloth and put it on some fragrances and candles that they already had. No, they did not take the time to make new fragrances. No, they did not reach out to black candle companies, black lotion companies, black perfume companies to be able to work together and give them a portion or a section within their stores. No, they literally just went in the back, grab what they already had and put new labels on it. That is what I believe is pissing people off, because it's like, your saddlewood was already there. It's not even a saddlewood remix. At the end of the day, this is the same scent that I already have in my bathroom. It just has a different cover on it. I don't like that. I don't like that. I definitely think that this was a very lazy moment for Bath & Body Works, and they absolutely missed the mark. If you want to make the mark, definitely work with black businesses next time rather than just simply repackaging what you already have. In music news, the homie Mark Handsome came to town, and as you guys know, I recently did an interview with him, but it was virtual while he was in Vegas. Well, he was in Seattle. Of course, I took him down to Cube for a quick interview. We also went to Pike Place Market. I was able to show him the gum wall, and afterwards, you already know, we ended right here at Converge Media. So stay tuned. That interview is dropping in a couple weeks. In other music news, Seattle's Cameron Dean ended up directing a video for Taisha featuring Sweetie. Song is called 119, and this video is really, really cute. I really enjoyed the video. Very, very proud of Cameron Dean. If you haven't checked out the music video, definitely check it out, and once you do, of course, hit up Cameron and tell him how great of a job that he did on that video. In other music news, like I told you guys last week, Nicki Minaj is dropping a new song with rapper Lil Baby called Do We Have a Problem. Song should actually be dropping here in the PNW at about 9 p.m. East Coast, 12 a.m. She did drop a little trailer for it, and I'm very excited about the trailer. Although you can't really get a good idea of what kind of song it's going to be, you can see that the video, it got that movie vibe, and that is something that I've been missing from a lot of music videos these days. A lot of videos, you kind of watch them and go on about your day. This might be something that we could watch more than once. Heck, we might even get part 2 to the video. We'll see. Now, I wish that this was a music news situation, but it's not. As you guys know, we have been begging Rihanna to drop her new album, but she's been playing around to the point where not only did she just drop a new lipstick line that is featuring, I want to say, 10 shades of red and then a bunch of nudes, but sis is also pregnant by her boyfriend A$AP Rocky. She's glowing. She looks absolutely beautiful, and I'm not gonna front, I been knew that Rihanna was pregnant, okay? The day that she pulled up to the Met Gala wearing a whole comforter, I knew something was right. I knew something was wrong. Rihanna does not come to the Met Gala like that. If you ever want to see what Rihanna typically looks like when she goes to the Met Gala, take your butt on Google, type in Rihanna Met Gala, and at that moment you will understand why everybody automatically knew sis was pregnant. Now, I don't know if you guys know about this, but Janet Jackson has a new documentary that is on Lifetime, and it's really, really good, okay? Like, literally, I think I watched about 3 episodes. They're both about 30 minutes each, so I pretty much sat down for about an hour and a half binge watching the whole thing while I got my notes together for this show, and it is good, okay? If you haven't watched it and you have Lifetime, definitely get into it. Now, I did find it interesting that she talked about a lot of her exes, but she did not mention Bobby Brown. If you remember from the Bobby Brown movie, we ended up finding out that, or whatever group that Bobby Brown was in, we ended up finding out that he was messing around with Janet Jackson at one point. So she does still have some episodes left in her docuseries, so we'll see if she actually brings him up. Now, this last topic, I'm not gonna front, it's a little over my pay grade, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. So Whoopi Goldberg is now suspended from The View for about 2 weeks after some comments that she made by saying that the Holocaust was actually not about race. According to Whoopi Goldberg in this clip I'm about to show you, it was more so about the way that we treat each other. Check it out.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
Ethnicity.
Well, they consider Jews
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's about
but
going
it's not,
after
it's
Jews
not about
and
race.
gypsies
But these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Well, they must have to black people
see them as white.
And they
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other.
Now, afterwards, of course, Whoopi Goldberg went on an apology tour once she went viral on social media. And she took to social media, said sorry. The next day, she also went on The View, said sorry, and now she's still been suspended for 2 weeks. According to New York Post, ABC News President Kim Godwin, or Goodwin, one of the two, announced late Tuesday that effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked for her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. Well, now rumors are going around saying that Whoopi Goldberg is not happy about this. Rumors are also being said that her cast is not happy about this, and Whoopi is currently rumored to be thinking about leaving the show. Even though some of you may or may not agree with Whoopi's comments, she did apologize, and she said that she was wrong. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you think that she should quit? Do you think that ABC should have still suspended her for 2 weeks even though Whoopi did apologize? Drop your thoughts below. Can't wait to have a little conversation with you guys about that. In the meantime, between time, that's all I got for this week's episode of Rewind with Besa. Of course, you guys can keep up with me on social media at Besa Gordon, and you already know, listen to me on Cube weekdays 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, Besa Gordon, right? You caught me looking up on the monitors. Besa Gordon right there. Make sure and follow her at Besa Gordon and Rewind with Besa. And man, I'm looking forward to catching up with Besa on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? For arts, beats plus lyrics. And speaking of that, after the break, there he is, right there, Dwayne Dubelyoo, Wright. He said most people just call me W. We're going to take a quick break right now. The morning show continues.
In the depths of Belize, the travelers come across the waters, harvesting with their hands, learning of resilience rooted deep in the lands, culture thriving like a fire ablaze, sizzling with a pop and a chop, sharing its ways. Knowledge simmers and grinds into the hearts and minds, cutting away from the surface stories and colonial lies, boiling it down, breaking its shell as the truth pours out and gets plated collectively with love, spooned into bowls, feeding the soul. Garifuna, alive and strong at Palmetto Grove.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here with some much needed information about what's happening in our communities when it comes to COVID-19 in 2022. Omicron is actually the latest COVID-19 variant and honestly is hitting our local communities and hospitals pretty hard. You can help out by 1, making sure you are vaccinated, 2, making sure you have your booster, and 3, simply masking up. As we learn more about COVID-19, we're also learning more about how the vaccine works best. A booster shot 2 to 5 months after your COVID-19 vaccine significantly improves protection against COVID and its many, many variants. If you need a COVID-19 vaccine or a booster, there are free options for transportation and childcare that are available. To learn more about all of your options and where you can get your booster shot, go to kingcounty.gov/COVID/vaccine.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. And man, I actually get to do one of these fun segments. It's usually Trey Holiday who gets to do all the fun stuff and the arts and everything else. Really happy right now to welcome Dubelyoo, Dwayne Wright from Art Beats Plus Lyrics. Welcome to the Morning Update Show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no. So it's real interesting because people have been hearing bits and pieces about this event that's occurring Saturday at the Armory there at the Seattle Center. Man, first of all, tell people a little bit about yourself and about Art Beats Plus Lyrics.
Well, Jack Honey Art Beats and Lyrics is a traveling urban art exhibition. We've been on the road for about, I would say 17 years. And this is our first time in Seattle. So we're super excited about that. I'm the curator, Jabari Graham is the founder, and we've been trying to expand out to this area for a while, and this is an opportunity to see what Seattle has out there.
Yeah, well, okay, so you're new to Seattle. You mentioned this was your first time here.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of the Emerald City thus far? And please don't mention rain.
Well, the food is awesome. We travel a lot, and food is a big thing. So far, the food experience has been amazing.
So, and we talking about 17 years?
Yeah. So here's how it started. Around 2004, my business partner, Jabari, we used to work for the circus out there, and he got laid off. And he wanted to do something that incorporated music and hip hop culture and art. And the first Art Beats and Lyrics was in a bar in Little 5 Points. If you're familiar with Atlanta, it's like a little cultural cool area in town, and had a great turnout. And then 4 months later, we had the opportunity to do the High Museum. And, that was our first time really working together. And this is before social media, before Instagram, before, you can post on Facebook. So word of mouth was the thing. We got a bunch of artists from the scene, and there wasn't a whole lot of outlets for the type of art we wanted to show. Only people out in the streets were like the graffiti artists. And we brought some of those folks in. The tattoo community was in there, hip hop illustrators, and we mixed it with music. And we sold out the museum in 2 hours. And fast forward a couple years, Jack Daniels became our sponsor, and we've been on the road ever since.
Man, that's a minute. I used to be in the music industry, not as an artist, clearly, but yeah, I used to be out on tour.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And touring takes a toll on you. And we talk about 17 years all crisscrossing America. Man, that's I think one of the words that comes to mind is commitment.
Oh yeah. We really believe in what we do, and we're fortunate to have a partner in Jack Daniels that gives us the opportunity to try new things and go to new markets and experiment. Some things work, some things don't work, but we have a chance to do that. We've come a long way over the past 17 years.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Man, actually, Jack did something out here last year as well. And
nice.
It's good to, it's kind of a COVID thing with COVID restrictions. So it's good to see you guys here. We got a video clip that we're getting ready to play here, but once you set this up, and so you can I want you to paint the picture, even though the video will as well.
Okay.
Like, man, what do people expect? Why is this such a big deal?
Well, we want to make sure people leave inspired and have a great time. Like I said before, when we first started, there wasn't a whole lot of venues for the type of art we wanted to show. A lot of urban art, a lot of art featuring Black experiences. That wasn't a big market for that. So now times have changed, social media's changed, and we have those artists, and those artists have followings. And this is an opportunity for them to even take their work from one city and expand to other cities and get people to see their stuff and appreciate it and share it with their friends and their social media following. So it's really important to do that, to get the word out there and keep the culture moving forward.
All right, and this clip that we have here, what city was this filmed in?
I have to see the clip. We've done so many cities.
Go for it, Salman. All right. So first of all, I'll say this is that we here in this Black Media Matters studio and watching this video is like very apparent. Black art matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have about 100 yards worth of art walls. So when you come to the show, as you can see in the video, there's art walls, and each wall has like a different theme and installation. This gives the artist a chance to take their images past just being something you just see and into something you can experience. So some of the artists have murals. You know, they have their work, and the artwork around it, the whole installation enhances that whole viewing experience. And another element we added a few years back are the light boxes. You've seen those. They're 8 feet by 8 feet. So when you come in, you can actually see these big images, larger than life, hitting you right when you walk in. And people really, really connect to that.
You know, when you talk about the Seattle Center Armory, and we talk about 300 feet more of installations, and you talk about 8-foot light box, this is a big production.
Oh yeah, it's a big show. We've done it in the video we just saw. That was in a train station in Richmond, Virginia, an active train station. So people were still coming, getting off the trains with their luggage and everything. And the show has been in basketball arenas, baseball stadiums, and all that. So it's a show that can adjust to the size of the venue. And it's cool to really take something outside of the gallery and bring it to a place where people may not usually see artwork. That's part of the excitement.
Yo, it sounds to me like art, beats plus lyrics really is a traveling show uplifting the greatness of Black art and Black culture all across America, and that you guys have been on the road for almost 2 decades here on this mission to uplift Black art. And Black art is very part and parcel of telling the Black story and the Black experience.
Oh, absolutely. We've had some of the top Black artists in the country in our show. We've had Kevin A. Williams, also known as Wack, Charlie Palmer, Gilbert Young. So we've had a lot of heavy hitters in the Black art community be part of the show and build installations as well.
Yo, like, this is super dope. Hey, look, I want you to do me a favor.
Yes.
I want you to look right there in this camera, and I want you to tell everybody, like, man, you know, why they should come out on Saturday to the Seattle Center Armory, what they can expect.
Okay, here's what you can expect from the show. We're going to have a great time. We have Raekwon, the chef from Wu-Tang, come there performing. So definitely come check that out. When you get there, you make sure to register. When you come in, you'll get your drink ticket. You'll go to the bar, sample some of the Jack Daniels products, and then you'll make your way through the whole venue, enjoying the art experience. It's going to be something that you've probably never seen before with a lot of the artists that you may follow on Instagram and Facebook and all that. And then at the end, you get an awesome show. We have awesome music, great host. Raekwon will come out and do his thing, and then you'll go and share how great the show was with all your friends.
All right, good stuff. Now, Salman's putting a link in the comments, but tell people, if you know, how do they get tickets?
Okay, yes. You can go to Jack Honey Art Beats and Jack Honey ABL, and you can register there and come on out to the show.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
W. Bruh, thank you so much. And I'm glad this really came together. You know, art is part and parcel of Converge. You know, we got a bunch of art shows here. We're in constant uplift of artists. We invest a lot in the uplift of art in the art community here in Seattle. So I'm so glad this came together, and that we have enough time to be able to uplift this event and make more people aware of it.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you for having us, and look forward to seeing you out there.
All right, good stuff. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, Trey Holiday rejoins the set. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, practice. Hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. Trey Holiday, 17 years on the road.
Oh my gosh, amazing work they're doing. I'm just glad this is the first time they've been in Seattle. I'm like, it can't be the last time.
Yeah, you know, connection. Well, they ended up right here in the Black Media Matters studio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And man, really want to invite our audience, man. If you can't make it, tell a friend. The link's there in the comments. Share that link with people. You know what I'm saying? We really want everyone to come out and support. And we got to stop this thing. Oh man, nothing comes in Seattle for Black folks and this and that. Here is your opportunity. There's some Black folks here with like a world-class exhibit. We need you to come out and be supportive and experiencing it. And man, I know you'll be on the road, but they said a few great things for me. They said art, Raekwon, and drinks. So yeah, I mean, clearly you'll find me there. All right, real quick, you saw the ad right there. Romeo and Juliet. Tomorrow is Converge Media Day at the Pacific Northwest Ballet. Romeo and Juliet. I know you're hosting a bunch of people. Real excited about that. And actually, before we get to that, you talked to the actual ballet dancers. We got a clip of that who are in Romeo and Juliet. And I'll set this up right here. You asked them, what can people expect?
What can folks expect? I mean, this is, again, it's a classic story. We know the story. Tell us a little bit about some of the peak moments that you guys really experience as dancers doing this particular classical Shakespeare story.
Well, I think that for one, the audience should expect to watch this like a movie or like a play. The way the ballet is designed, it's it's a more modern take on ballet. So really the interactions that the audience sees is really between the characters, and there's not really a connection with the audience. So the audience themselves should enjoy it like they're going to the movies.
Yeah, this is a contemporary version of the classic as well. So unlike a lot of traditional classical ballets that had these lavish sets and costumes, this production really relies on the dancers, the characters to tell a story, the movement, the choreography. The set is it's whitewashed. There's a lot of just blank white walls, a ramp that can be moved to represent quite a few different scenes. So it's a little bit different in that regard.
I think the high points are like the balcony pas de deux for us. The third act is very emotional. I would say if anyone's coming, to bring a tissue or a box of tissues, because it's really emotionally charged pretty much the whole time.
Oh, yes. Tomorrow is the day, you guys. We have one more pair of tickets to give away for you guys to join us at Pacific Northwest Ballet. I'm so looking forward to this show. And as they said there, this is about the characters being the dancers, being these characters and the character interaction. I'm really looking forward to it. She's talking about bringing tissues, man. It's going to be real.
I do enough crying on TV. Yo, Pacific Northwest Ballet, man. You know what I'm saying? Really appreciate it. It's great. Converge night at McCall Hall tomorrow night. And so, yeah, man, there's still one more pair of tickets left. You can email and put this overlay up. I think we have Trey, TRAE, at whereweconverge.com. Let Trey Holiday know that you want to go to the ballet. What else do I have here? Okay, so a few mentions here for tonight. So tonight we have Clapback Culture at 7:00. And actually, Curtis Delgado II is going to be filling in for Julia Jesse, joining Mike Davis of the South Seattle Emeralds. So that's going to be fantastic there. Then at 9 p.m., it's The Factors, episode 7. The Factors were here last night. They had a great show there. And I got it up next for you because tomorrow's Feel Good Friday. One of the people here, Katoya Palmer. Katoya Palmer is going to be coming in from Toy Box Consulting and talking about the Beloved campaign. We're talking about gun violence disruption. Katoya is going to be here. Also, Eric Calligraphy Wilson is going to be in the house. And T-Dub. We got T-Dub talking about the art of the matter. And we have the commercial here, the promo, because the next episode is on the 7th with Barry Johnson. Play that down.
If you look at art history, like the black protagonist has just not been there. Like you just don't have black existence in the paradigm of art. So a lot of my work primarily is just to combat the erasure of blackness. You don't have to be shown through pain, through art. We could just be doing us, you know, kick back, vibes, color, our existence, just being.
So looking forward to diving in with some guests. We have several guests. It's going to be a jam-packed show tomorrow for Feel Good Friday. I'm looking forward to it all.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. All right, Trey Holiday, we're 1 minute in over top of the hour. That means we're in overtime, so we're going to get out of here. Any last words before we bounce?
Oh, see yourself as a part of the solution. I mean, we didn't even get to dive into Jimmy's interview today. Just phenomenal, brother, doing great work out there in Federal Way area. Clearly, Dwayne and his team are here to bring this amazing show. People are seeing themselves as part of the solution, creating solutions, being the driver of it. Be inspired so you guys can do it too.
All right. So you see right here, this is the Thursday smile, everybody, because that means that I'm off tomorrow. Oh, man, I'm getting spoiled with this. I'm loving Monday through Thursday. And also I get to sit in bed and watch Feel Good Friday. So, you know what I'm saying? This is always a good vibe. But just want to tell everybody I appreciate you. I mean, we're looking forward to an exciting week next week. Make sure and come out and support art, beats plus lyrics. That's going to be fantastic. And also the groundbreaking of Africa Town Plaza is also happening on Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be touching on that tomorrow for Feel Good Friday. That is a feel good story all around. Shout out to everybody who's been involved in that. Africa Town Plaza hitting the streets.
All right. As usual, these days, we're going to leave you with a little bit of hope from Shayna Shepherd. And on that note, want to remind you, go forward in your purpose. Go forward in your humanity. And until Feel Good Friday, tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace.
What do I see through a lens of fear? 1,000 little steps to go. What do I fear after all these years? Lord knows I don't even know. I've been running on the edge of a sundial, sleeping in the shadow. I've been begging you to see me, then hiding beyond the unreachable. Looking out left on a right-hand turn, just trying to make a deal. A lazy shoes and love is a love that turn. That's the kind of food that heals. I've been searching for the end of an era, waiting to be ready. The world is bigger than a moment. Be steady, that's how you can feel it's real. But I feel naked in my new clothes, 'cause I got used to hiding the holes. This old world got new tricks and I'm in the thick of it. This I swear I'm already sick